much going on right now, and we are really happy you joined 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. Post-power trip, pre-program. This is 9 to noon. And first, the Easter centerpiece. Got another culinary winner for you. Put this into the mix early because of the culinary king to the opposite of yours truly, the producer of 9 to noon, Eric Nordquist. I took a 10-pound boring spiral ham, brought it to room temperature, slathered it with honey, so the next step would stick. Mixed brown sugar and Dano's spicy seasoning. Raise your hands if you had no idea what Dano's spicy seasoning was until you went to the Google machine and you learned of it, and that would be me early yesterday morning. Dano's spicy seasoning, then spread and press into the honey. Once fully covered, tightly wrap the boring spiral ham in tin foil, and at 275, slow rolled it in the oven for 2 hours and 22 minutes.
There you go.
Final 10 minutes, took off the tin foil, poured pure maple syrup on it, and put it back in. Served right out of the oven. Juices, bottom of the foil, were in abundance.
Yeah.
With zero mess. And that bad boy was just the most flavorful, boring spiral ham I think I've ever had. It was like, my oh my, show am good. And Nordo smiles. He's 9 to noon's hardcore carnivore and culinary king. I'm the crock-pot peasant. But every so often, the squirrel gets the nut. And that was yesterday with the boring spiral ham. What do you think, hardcore carnivore? And good morning.
Good morning. I think you absolutely aced it, because with the ham, you can't penetrate it.
It's not the ham, it's the boring spiral ham.
With the boring spiral ham, you can't penetrate it. Really to a high degree, whether it's with smoke, you can't really inject it. What do? It's kind of a finished product. It's almost saying just heat me, serve me, and bore everybody.
Yeah.
So the best you can do is figure out some sort of glaze. Can you cut into it? And what you offered there, I'm not a Dano's person myself. But spicy seasoning combined with the brown sugar, combined with the honey,
and the pure maples.
There we go.
I mean, it's $9.99 for this thing. I mean, I understand prices are up on a lot of things. This sucker costs more than this small thing of pure maple syrup, more than $10 just for the final touch with the boring spiral ham and the hardcore carnivore.
No, I think you absolutely. That is the key. Is not the ham itself. No matter what you do to cook it or smoke it, etc.
Thank you.
It's what you put around it and effectively as best you can get in there.
Yes.
Glaze that thing and have yourself a good old time with that $100 honey.
Culinary king approval?
Yes, very much.
Hey!
I do this little habanero cherry glaze that ends up working, kind of effectively trying to get the same finished results. Delicious.
Onward. The Monday mock gets us to 17 today. And the vaunted Rams, the LA Rams, are right in the thick of the Monday mock. And that's a smart, tricky bunch over there. So make sure you're around for that. The controversial and ever-changeable Monday mock gets us to 17 today. Right in the middle of that bad boy, the tricky Rams. Damn. The Wild, we're in a wild one. LaMelo was in town last night, and in a less than shocking development, our Hal got blown out at home. Why? Because it was a weekend home game. And one shining moment is tonight. Holy cow. Seems like a perfect time for the weekend wrap.
Weekend wrap, Mondays 9 to noon. In this particular case, it's brought to you. I mean, speaking of ham glazing and smoking and all sorts of good, tasty things. It's brought to you by Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply.
Beef.
You can get your ham and then glaze it via Northern Fire. Go to northernfirebbq.com. You mentioned a champion will be crowned tonight. First off, we'll start with these guys. Hey, it's a Big Ten team.
And the Michigan Wolverines are on their way to the national championship game. Their 8th trip to the title game in dominant fashion. A wire-to-wire win, 91-73 over Arizona.
Yeah, they smacked those Wildcats. Michigan lost in the title game. I think it was John Beilein that brought them there in 2013, 2018. So they're back for the first time in about 7 or 8, 9 years. Last title for the Wolverines, by the way, 1989. Glenn Rice was handling business in those days. So the Michigan Wolverines, our conference, Big Ten pride, is going up against these Huskies.
It's a turnover, and the UConn Huskies continue their Final Four domination. UConn will head to the national championship to play for their third title in the last 4 years. Their seventh championship overall on the line Monday night with a 71-62 win over the Illinois Fighting Illini.
71-62, you heard it. Calhoun back in the 90s, Khalid El-Amin and all, won a title in 1999. Calhoun would get him banners in 04 and 2011. Oh, no big deal. We'll just plug in Kevin Ollie. He gets one in 2014, and now Danny Hurley doing his thing. The potential 3 of the last 4 going the way of the Huskies. That's tonight around 7:50 p.m.
Pete Box in studio for his Monday stop by. And the question's going to be, how do you beat Michigan? How do you beat this Michigan machine? The Lendabor cat leaves the game with a strain to his MCL, and they extend the lead as their best player leaves against Arizona. How do you beat this Michigan machine? That's 11 o'clock.
Minnesota Twins played games over the weekend, part of the weekend wrap, Northern Fire grilling and barbecue style. It started with a bang on Friday.
He has a sac fly RBI already today. And the 1-1 from Gomez. Line to right field, down the line, deep it goes, near the wall. That is gone! It's a grand slam for Tristan Gray! Down the right field line! And the Twins break it open! It is now 10-3 here at Target Field.
I got a feeling there might be an uptick in Tristan Gray jersey purchases in and around Target Field. Congratulations to the Twins winning on home opener day on Friday evening against the Rays. Then they had to play more. They lost the next 2 over the weekend by a combined score of 11-2, 7-1, 4-1. They're a 3-6 operation. The Tigers are in town, and a fun pitching matchup this evening, 6:40 p.m. Go see it. Joe Ryan, our guy JoJo, against Casey Mize for the visiting Detroit Tigers. To the Wolves, PA, my goodness, made that second matchup with Detroit more competitive last week. They lose without Ant. Ant returns for the Sixers game, goes 3 of 15 from the floor, didn't appear with it. At least they didn't give up a $135 like last time. Oh, and then the pesky Hornets in town for a weekend game at Target Center.
This last turnover as well, it's just one you cannot have. Bridges turns it into 3 points. 16-4 run, and Chris Finch needs a timeout. Charlotte now leads it by 5.
Yeah, he needed a timeout indeed. The Minnesota Timberwolves, losers of 3 straight there's never a good time to lose 3 straight, but with the muddy Western Conference, the way that it is, tough time for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're at Indy next. We'll go through that momentarily. LaMelo Ball has his way with us. 35 points, 7 triples, 8 dimes. Miles Bridges was unstoppable at times. So you are 3 games behind Houston. You're 3 games ahead of Phoenix with 4 to go. I mentioned at Indy, Orlando, Houston, and then home against the Pelicans in the regular season finale. Now you will tell me, Nordo, stop living in the past.
What do you mean?
But with the muddy West and with the way things are shaping out with this team right now, I just have to look back for a moment. Because when we're talking about a team in a conference that is this tight, and right now you need to get Jaden McDaniels healthy and ready for the postseason. I need Ant ready to play 38, 39 minutes a night every other night in a postseason series. I go back to November. Back-to-back losses at Phoenix and Sacramento. You're up 8 with 70 seconds left against the Suns. They go on a 9-0 run the rest of the way. Ant misses 2 free throws as part of that. So that's 1 L that was a W, but you turned it into a loss. Sacramento erases a 10-point deficit in the final 3 minutes to force OT. They win. DeRozan, by the way, 15 of 15 at the line. Come on, man. Keegan Murray had a 20 and 15 game. It was ugly against those Kings. Mid-December. Losing at home to the Grizz. No Ant, but Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jock Landale both having 20-point double-doubles, that's not good. And Jaden fouls out. Just after Christmas, we lose to the Nets, 123-07. We got murdered in front of our home fans by the Nets. Oh, that's 4. Okay. Oh, hey, another season, another loss to the Jazz. This time with Ant. Keontae George scores 43, and the Wolves allowed 43 points in the fourth quarter as Utah comes back to win. Fun. That's 5. Oh, and then we lost to the Grizz again in early February. They hit 19 triples on us. Jaren Jackson Jr. can't be stopped, and now he's with another team. We have 5 or 6 wins that turned into losses. Losses against bad teams, sleepy afternoon games on the weekends at Target Center. A common theme throughout this time. Simply by winning those games, you find yourself in the 3rd spot. Instead, what you're going to find yourself doing is facing the Denver Nuggets, who are completely freaking unstoppable right now, while at the same time, you're licking your chops at the idea of getting matched up with Luka on the shelf. He's in, Germany right now trying to fix this hammy thing. Oh, Austin Reeves with the oblique. That feels like season hopes and wishes finding its way down the drain. In-season losses, there's 82 of these games, I get it, but I can't help but look back a little bit, PA, at some of those very winnable games that all count as we're looking at a muddy Western Conference.
The reason I don't play that game is, for instance, if I ask, all right, well, let's go through Houston, Denver, and the Lakers schedule.
Yeah, they would have maybe moments like that too.
Well,
sure.
I can remember Denver losing to 20 by Memphis within the last 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's what's here and what's in front of us is basically all we can control at this stage of the equation. And as Chris Finch said after the loss to Charlotte yesterday, and I'm seeing this via @DaneMoore NBA, he was asked what it feels like the team spirit is right now, and apparently it's down. And he said, that's what we just talked about, said Finchie. It feels like we're a million miles away from the team that we can be, and that we are. And we got to get that back with our connectiveness and our spirit. And we got to have some guys just play better. So,
all right,
go ahead and lose the rest of them. And if Phoenix wins the rest of them, you're in the play-in. Now, that absolutely should not happen. Well, we'll see who suits up for Indy. Indy's playing games right now with draft pick positioning and stuff like that. You got Siakam and Nembhard and Nesmith and some of their best players all of a sudden out. Well, then they emerge and they make life difficult on really good teams. So we'll see what happens at Indy.
Well, they're in a ping pong ball contest right now with the Wiz, I believe.
Yep.
Just a game separates.
So if the Wolves lose the remainder of their games and finish the season on a 7-game losing streak, shame on them.
Yeah.
So that's winning one to eliminate what shouldn't even be any part of a 9 to noon conversation. Sniffing that disease play-in. I thought we put that thing away and threw it in the Hudson. But the LA Lakers are all done. They're all done. They without Austin Reeves is out a month and a half. Luka's overseas getting that hamstring looked at, wants to return for the playoffs. It's a pretty significant hamstring injury from what I read. So therefore, him in the first round, I ain't counting on Luka in the first round.
No.
The Lakers at Dallas last night, they started Jake LaRavia, Rui Hachimura, and Luke Kennard.
What is that, my fantasy team?
Luke Kennard had a triple-double last night. 15 points, 16 rebounds, and 11 assists. Luke Kennard. So those are the players on whom they're relying to start.
Yeah.
2/3 of the MB3 is down. You need, in the current state the Timberwolves are, and then emphasis on current state, they need the Lakers. Now, the Lakers and Denver are tied for that 3 spot, and we'll get more into that with P. Fox in the 11 o'clock hour. But
by the way,
Lakers are reeling, Timberwolves are reeling. The Spurs and Nuggets had an NBA immortality-like game on Saturday.
You saw some of that?
Holy
How
cow.
good was that?
Yeah, behold, star after star after star doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, Wemby goes, it was like a 34-18 game, right? But then Jokic, yeah, I get it. I'm turning 31 here. Nobody thinks of me as the MVP anymore. That's fine.
How about that?
I'm going to go 40 with 13 dimes and just an unbelievable shootout affair.
Yeah.
And that's why the Nuggets have won 8 straight. That's why, the Rockets in a different conversation. That's why they've won 6 straight. They're ramping up.
Mm-hmm.
And Wemby and those Spurs, I like how you kind of framed it up over the last week or so, and then I'll move on. We'll get to the Wild. But the, kind of picks, if they had taken Edgecombe, when you think about all those guards on that team and everything, what that could have meant. This is in overnight fashion become quite the juggernaut in the NBA with old Wemby. On to the hockey team. Final portion of the weekend wrap brought to you by Northern Fire. Let's beat Ottawa.
Off the boards where Spence will gather. Spence spinning at the offensive blue line. Turn it over. The Wild trying to gallop ahead. And Zuccarello with Hartman. Hartman's open in front. Zuccarello through one that way. Hartman scores!
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
A bit of a jailbreak for the Wild, and Ryan Hartman's got to go on 4 straight. It's 2-0 Minnesota.
They could have just stopped there because it was 4-0 at one point. Ottawa finds the net, and then and that is the final 4-1. Hartman with 2 goals in that. Dig that. We're finally getting Vox in the box W's, which is sweet. Then you go and beat Ottawa. Then you got to go and beat these Red Wings. Now, at one point, you're up 4-1. And then the third period happens. And I'm seeing parts of this game throughout the day, paying attention to it. Oh, hey, another meltdown. Hey, they're going to we got to go to OT again. Patrick Kane ties the game. But then he does one of the dumber things you found on an ice rink.
Trenyon chiseled it back behind his own net, and we've got a tripping penalty way behind the play, and it's on the Red Wings, it appears.
Wow. This is not a good time for a penalty. They're well away from the play.
And it's Patrick Kane. He was on the Red Wings bench when the whistle blew. 3:37 left.
Yeah, it was an awful time for a penalty, as you heard Tom Reed say. These Red Wings are just grinding, trying to find themselves a playoff spot. Kane, good times, bad times, game-tying goal, game-losing penalty. Listen to this sequence.
Hughes, back to Boldy, top of the right circle with a shot that glanced wide. 40 to go in the power play. Hughes to keep in left point to Boldy. A one-timer kicked out by Talbot. Rebound for Kaprizov. It was blocked as Albert Johansson blocked it out in front. Now Hughes down low for Kaprizov. He whiffed on it from the side of the cage. Boldy keeps in. Boldy uses the ice in front of him through the high slot. Now left circle. Couldn't get a shot through. Twist back. It's handed to the point with 20 to go on the man advantage. Boldy to Kaprizov. A shot. He scores! A rocket of a one-timer! It's a hat trick. The 6th career regular season hat trick for Kirill Kaprizov. And with a $1:51 to go, the Wild have a 5-4 lead.
So, a little bit easier than us trying to do math on the fly with the Jimmy Johnson trade system or the Rich Hill or whatever it was we were using last week. They're 2 points behind the Dallas Stars, PA. The Stars just 3-5-2 in their last 10. And the Wild now, with a matchup, by the way, around the corner, with said Stars, the Minnesota Wild are just 2 points behind. Now, the regulation and overtime win thing might be a problem.
Crazy.
But to that end, home ice, not out of the picture. Kraken tomorrow, and I think we are going to be at Tria for said Kraken matchup.
So, Mick Tocchet, Pat Micheletti joins 40 minutes from now at 10 o'clock. We will better deep dive this than now. But the Wild are at Dallas Thursday. So that has to be a victory, a 2-point taking of any type. If you can win that one and you can get Dallas to lose or tie another game and you win the rest of your games, the state of hockey gets home ice in the first round. Let's go. Seemingly amazingly quickly, Dallas has Calgary tomorrow night. They host the Wild Thursday. Calgary's in Big D. Then they host the Rangers Saturday. They got 5 left. Then at Toronto and at Buffalo. The Minnesota Wild finish with Seattle here tomorrow night, at Dallas Thursday, then at Nashville, at St. Louis, and the Anaheimers here to close. It's more than a puncher's chance. I mean, it's a puncher's chance plus. Pat Micheletti will join about 10 o'clock to discuss that, but congratulations to the Wild. Looking quite good of late, specifically the Stars, who are shining. Box in the Box indeed tomorrow from Tria. It's 9:20. Nordo produces. I'm Paul Allen. That's the weekend wrap provided by
Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply in Minnetonka, northernfirebbq.com.
the Monday Mock. from picks 9 to 17 next on your home for the NFL Draft, FM 100.3 KFAN.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Here's the deal. Edition, version, installment, dose. Number 2 of the Monday Mock. And the Monday Mock is mock morphing into theory as much as like player put in a spot.
Ooh.
And because of that and a stupid mistake yours truly made last week, we have alterations to last week's Mizzle. So let's begin there, okay?
So we got to go backwards to go forwards.
Got to go back, yes, because there was a mistake made, and then new steam emerges. And it's not like, I mean, I guess you can podcast it and write down all the picks, but it's not like, you're going to Google NFL Draft Mock and then see Daniel Jeremiah here, Walter Football there, the skeletal remains of Pro Football Focus there. Now, this is different steam and different takes emerge weekly, so therefore there will be alterations to the aggressive and controversial Monday Mock, including with last week's Mizzle, where I'm now putting offensive lineman, Miami offensive lineman Francis Mauigoa, third to the Arizona Cardinals. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
so he was going fourth to Titans?
Well, here's what I was lazy. I thought Titans were third, Arizona was fourth, so I put Jeremiah Love in that spot, and no, I just made a mistake. So we're putting the beef-eating offensive lineman at 3 to Arizona. Jeremiah Love moves to fourth to Tennessee. Okay. Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receiver, he now goes to Cleveland. So we're going to put Carnell Tate 6 to Cleveland. The rest stays the same.
Who went? Well, can you?
And I will.
Oh, perfect.
We're building the mock on the fan, and today we have 9 to 17. Hopefully, no major revisions to that. But if there are, there are. The mock revision might take place all the way up to the front of the draft. You see, football fans need a new age goose. And I'm not the new age goose, and I can't say that, I'm really working super hard to become a new age Rick Gosselin. But as I shared with the Scribe last week, Rick Gosselin, longtime football writer for the Dallas Morning News, nicknamed the Goose. I think he joined us at a combine show or two when he would come to Indy for the Dallas Morning News. Well, he subsequently has moved on from that. So the NFL needs a new goose. A new goose. The goose is on fire. So what did the goose do for those of you who missed the Scribe last week, Ben Gessling? This was pre-social media, internet in play. And morning of round 1, he would drop a first-round mock. Clearly, after talking to an abundance of people around the league who knew they can trust Goose. I got a lot of friends around the league who know that they can trust me. I've just never executed it in Goose-like fashion. And there are no promises that I'm going to attempt to execute it in Goose-like fashion. But just in case I do, there will be some revisions to the Monday Mizzle, including today, because we got a little steamy with some things over the weekend. So NFL draft nicks and NFL draft devotees and savants, they and we all need a goose. We need a goose. A goose who's on fire. Because what would the goose do the day of the first round of the draft, pre-social media? He would nail 70 to 80% of the top 10. Sometimes he went 10 for 10. Why? Because there were markedly fewer trades then than now. One trade messes up 2 spots, the fan has learned. So through the rest of it, I swear, man, he hit like 60, 70, 75%. And well, the beauty of it is, from a trust standpoint, is that it was abundantly clear he had somebody or people who would give him the answers to the test, knowing it's not going to ruin what they want to do. I mean, that is such an art to sharing information. I'm not sure it can be possible in this day and age because of the social media machine. But nevertheless, that led to a couple of revisions here, and it goes like this. So 1 through 8 now officially goes like this.
So you have Ty Simpson going 1 then.
Yeah, what we did is we took Mendoza and we booted him out of the first round. And once I learned over the weekend that my longtime friend Tanner Morgan was returning to the NFL, right to the first pick.
Oh my gosh! Can you work about that? He's working out.
It goes like this: Mendoza, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm keeping Ruben Bain, the Miami Edge, 2 with the Jets. I mean, there's Arvell Reese terrorism just beating me down right now, claiming that he'll go second, and he might. He's heavily favored to go second to the Jets. I like Ruben Bain. Now let me rephrase that. This is FIHA, Fairness and Honesty Act. The people with whom I chat like Ruben Bain every bit as much or more than the Arvell cat. And I can't remember where we had him. But nevertheless, Arvell Reese, remember where we had him? He definitely was in the top 8.
I thought he was 4 to...
Yeah, to Tennessee.
To Tennessee.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to back some things up here. So we're going to put... I'm going to keep Bain, the Miami Edge, at 2. I'm going to have Arizona taking Miami Beefeater, Francis Mauigoa. I'm going to put him 3rd. I'm going to put Jeremiah Love 4th. After that, this is where it gets goofy, because Arvell Reese, the Ohio State linebacker, I mean, he kind of needs to go in this spot. If I just become immersed with the lemmings and like the odds and everything, so I'm going to put him there. All right. And then we're going to put
Sonny Styles. I got all his albums.
Sonny Styles. We're going to back him right out of the chat for a hot tick. Cleveland with wide receiver Carnell Tate. I actually feel pretty good about that. Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State, 6 to Cleveland. So now we got Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs with Washington and Durante Jones. I do believe it will be one of those. I have not settled into exactly which one, but I will. And 8, New Orleans, LSU corner, Mansour Delane.
So that's staying static.
Yep, so that's staying static. In fact, let's just do this right here. Because the Downs or Styles will go 7th, and I don't have them 9 to 17 because I sense another little baby change coming next week. If you had a choice between Downs or Styles for Durante Jones in Washington, which one would you take and why?
Oh, that's tough because they could absolutely use either one in that spot.
Right.
I'm going to say Caleb Downs.
Right. Well,
I'm going to say the defensive backs coach finds a way to make Caleb Downs do everything in that defense in Washington. So I'm going to put Downs 7.
So Sonny Styles, we all have all of his albums. He is probably it's either going to be 7, maybe 8 or 9. But for the purpose of the very, very, very late steam that emerged, Styles will make it into the mix next week. I'm just not exactly sure where, because he has to be probably in the top 10. So for the mock today, with the recognition that Sonny Styles will be part of this eventually. Why? Because we have all of his albums and his greatest hits. Let's begin with number 9 in the Kansas City Chiefs in search of a little defense.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
And this is a moment where you're going to watch the edge rushers just go get the quarterback.
David Bailey bearing down. It is a sack, and it's Skylar Gill-Howard.
Where they're going to be. You see David Bailey on the right side of your screen. The thing that jumps out when you watch his film is how good his get-off and his hands are.
Hey, David Bailey with good get-off and good hands. That's a Texas Tech edge. We'll slide him into the Kansas City spot. Number 10, Cincinnati. What's steamy to me is they need an offensive tackle. Spencer Fano would be, according to those I respect, the best left after Mauigoa heads to Arizona. And with Spencer Fano, he can change games at guard too, is what I was told over the weekend. But with this, just if you want Joe Burrow to stay on your team, start protecting him better. I mean, it really comes down to that. That's why I put him there. Now, with number 11, the Miami Dolphins, this could have a direct impact on the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because it's this guy.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Fresno State on third down.
There's Brooks in the slot on the hash down to the bottom of your screen.
King floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked off by Thieneman. Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Look at the right cleat, though, as Thieneman's coming down.
The previous play is under further review.
Darn right it is.
Darn right it is.
Thieneman gone.
Now, when John Harris with footballtakeover.com, when he posted his most recent mock draft, this was eye-opening to me because he put Thieneman in that 11 spot. Then I started deep diving what Jeff Hafley, new coach of the Dolphins, likes to do and where they spent an abundance. And the biggest commitment they made in the offseason was to the quarterback, Malik Willis. Now, the defensive play caller is going to want somebody of the Thieneman variety who can play all the positions in the secondary. So I'm really feeling Dylan Thieneman, Oregon safety, to the Miami Dolphins. Now, you get to Dallas at number 12, and Dallas has 2 picks in the first round for now. And Dallas, it's when you're analyzing Dallas, I've learned over the years, to look at needs specifically defensively can be foolhardy. Hey, you need an edge. Look what DeMarcus Lawrence left and was unbelievable for Seattle, and they won a Super Bowl. The Trayvon Diggs experiment didn't work out. These safeties and everything. It's clear that you need all that. So, of course, Jerry Jones will do this.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Since he's come over here, remarkable.
Sam Levitt back at the switch. They motion out of the pistol. Play fake. Going vertical. Tyson the target. Oh, contested catch through 2.
Watch this man go up in traffic. 2 defenders in his way. It doesn't matter. The circus catches, the route running. You're looking at what I believe is the best wide receiver in college football.
Jordan Tyson, speedy wide receiver, Arizona State University. Sure, they need a lot defensively, but Jerry Jones likes offense, and Jerry Jones likes speed, and Jerry Jones owns the team, and he makes the picks. So this guy reminded somebody with whom I chatted recently of Luther Burden III. Well, that's all I needed to hear. I mean, if he's close to that guy, and Jerry likes offense for Dak, off play action to those running backs and CeeDee Lamb on the other side, I'll put Jordan Tyson there, and I will do so willingly. Wide receiver, I think, will be the answer, but for the sake of the Monday Mizzle, we'll put Jordan Tyson there, which means this is a time that we've been told it is a bad wide receiver draft. That if you want to get wide receivers late Friday or through Saturday, they're all projects. Okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't know whether it was true or false, but too many of the smart people are telling me that, so it's probably right. Which means if Carnell Tate, the Ohio State wide receiver, goes to Cleveland at 6, and then Jerry gets his wide receiver on at 12, well, the Rams, if they keep their pick, they might be married to doing this.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown! Wow! A Rocco play. Unbelievable. Give his eyes a trophy down.
I didn't understand a word. Was that just me?
I think that resulted in a touchdown to Omar Cooper Jr. May have been a game winner against Penn State.
Yeah, Omar Cooper Jr., Indiana wide receiver. We're going to get into the Rams here momentarily because they have the 13th overall pick in the draft. Thank you, Atlanta, for reaching for a guy who might not be able to play. But Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana, I'm going to put him there. He plays inside and out, which is important to McVay. Elite route runner from what I was told. Rams shipped all in on defense in free agency, and Puka Nacua is in rehab. So this is a wide receiver spot, I would think, unless they trade, and I happen to believe that they will trade out of 13. But for the sake of the Monday Mizzle, the only mock that you'll find that actually has two players in one spot, we're going to put a wide receiver there. Why? Because the wide receiver draft, it ain't great, but it's top heavy, which means Tate, stay in Ohio, play for the Cleveland Browns. Tyson, Luther Burden III, maybe the second Luther Burden III. Okay, 3-2. Put Jordan Tyson in Dallas. Put the Indy wide receiver with the Rams. Wait, is there anybody else left? The Ravens are next. What are they going to do?
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
With Miller out wide on second down and 1. 18 seconds left in the second.
Could be quarterback run here, too.
Maeva scans. Maeva throws. End zone. Lemon! Oh! He makes the grab! Touchdown, SC!
All right. Well, raise your hands if you had no idea who Mekhi Lemon was until the controversial Monday mock today. Actually, for me, it would be Saturday. I had no idea who he was. But one conversation later, and the recognition that the wide receivers really, really, really fall off after one of those four we've mentioned. I'm gonna put Mekhi Lemon, USC wide receiver, with the Baltimore Ravens. They need one before they're gone. And I think it's going to go boom, boom, boom right there. And that's who we will have play alongside King Henry and Lamar Jackson, which gets us to 15. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What in the heck are you going to do? Holy cow.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Keep an eye on him up top. Clark under pressure. Throws it as he was being sacked. Akeem Messidor was there for Miami. They're going to roll out an incomplete pass.
Akeem Messidor, Miami Edge. Let's not forget Miami played in the title game but lost to Mendoza. So we got a lot of Canes, the resurgence of the Canes. I'm not going to say throwing it back to the Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Greg Olson days with your three-headed running back trio being like, Clinton Portis and Edgerrin James and Frank Gore. I mean, it was an embarrassment of riches back in the heyday of the Canes. It had a little of that last year. Reuben Bain, I like him as the best edge in the draft. I got him going super high. Then you get Maui Goa, the tackle. He should go in the top 5. Then you get this edge, Akeem Messidor, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why wouldn't he? Number 16. This is the second pick in the top 16 for the New York Jets. They take Reuben Bain at 2. So what you going to do? You're going to look at the offense now that you handled the defense? I say, au contraire.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Like their talent in the game. Milroe intercepted along the near sideline. Jermon McCoy across midfield. Terrible interception thrown by Milroe.
Coverage with Williams. He looks inside immediately. One-hand snag and reels it in. That could not be played better by the cornerback. You see how he located the ball?
All right, here's the deal with this. Jets with a defense and an edge guy at 2. Jets with a cornerback at 16. The name is Jermod McCoy from Tennessee, and here's the reason why. Their coach, Aaron Glenn, just has to be like this. All right, you guys, you personnel guys, you learned personnel people, you got your way last year with the tackle and the tight end, and neither one of them worked. Now, I get my way with an edge and a corner. So he takes Bain, and then he takes the corner. It's like the peanut butter and the honey meshing together on toast. Bain the cane, and McCoy a corner at 16 because last year he let the offensive folks do their thing, and they had a disastrous season. So I think they go defense this year. And finally, to number 17. No, that's right. We ain't got highlights for offensive linemen.
It's the Monday Mock. 9 to noon.
Sorry for sleeping.
Yeah, no,
sleeping on you on a Monday mock.
Oh, that's my bad. I actually was the one who slept on that one. Who's the best offensive lineman here? All right, I'm not super married to this, but nevertheless, to complete the controversial Monday mock, Monroe Freeling, offensive lineman from Georgia, and here's the premise: is I can't possibly believe they are completely on board with moving Penei Sewell to the left tackle spot. And yes, Penei Sewell, one of maybe the best offensive linemen in the NFL. Yes, he can play left tackle, but he's so good at right tackle. And you could probably find a left tackle in the draft that you can use there. Then if it doesn't work, maybe you just flip him then. So they might move Sewell to left tackle. That's what's steamy. But I just can't believe you would. I mean, look at the Packers last year before Elton Jenkins got hurt. Started out playing center, was playing pretty well. Then the whole thing completely fell off. Then he got hurt.
Yeah.
You just don't traditionally want to take players who rule the roost at their spot and move them.
And they already experienced that a year ago, just from the standpoint out of need. But you think about Glasgow and trying to make that thing work at center.
Yep.
Wasn't working. Tate Ratledge, typical rookie ebbs and flows.
Yep.
You know, the idea of taking someone out of the reason you compensate them the way you do, hoping that it'll just work. It's there's a chance for failure there. I like the idea of them going with a left tackle.
So here's what's going to happen for the Monday mock next week is Washington's probably going to end up with Sonny Styles, and then I'm probably going to put Caleb Downs in the Thieneman spot.
Yeah.
And then put Thieneman to the Minnesota Vikings at 18.
Ooh.
It might be something like that. But that's the Monday mock version 2.
I can't wait for you to make a slight adjustment in 2 of those 3 straight wide receivers.
Two
of them are gone.
You might find a wide receiver from SMU that all of a sudden pops up at 14 because he knows Lamar Jackson. He's like a distant cousin.
And with the 18th overall pick, the Vikings select Mekhi Lemon, and now I know a ton about him.
Yeah, there we go. That's the Monday mock, 1 through 17-ish at this stage. And we mentioned the Los Angeles Rams at 13. That is a team led by smart people. They don't operate in fear. And they own a spot in the draft at 13 that is so sneaky. I'm going to pay that off briefly around the corner. It's 9 to noon.
It's the Monday Mock, 9 to noon.
Hardcore football.
All right, I'll make it a final through 17. Let's put Sonny Styles at number 7 with Washington and Caleb Love, Ohio State safety, 11 with the Miami Dolphins, which leaves Dylan Thieneman available for the Minnesota Vikings at 18 if they are so inclined.
The cool thing about these mock drafts, whether it's the Monday mock or any mock, is that we can game the system so that at least for the purposes of the Monday mock,
I'm trying to be Goose on the run.
That Dylan Thieneman will be above or among several awesome options. Man, which duck do you want? Which duck will you want with the Monday mock a week from now?
Well, think about how much Baker would like Kenyon Sadiq with the Buccaneers. I mean, Mike Evans leaves and he goes to San Francisco. And you know you've had receivers hurt left and right. From a tight end standpoint, I mean, you know what can they boast there?
I was laughing. I can't remember who did it. And again, these mock drafts, we have in the end, you know, to get a handful correct is in some ways a minor miracle.
It's impossible.
But I was laughing. I was reading this mock draft, and somebody was writing, okay, et cetera, et cetera. Thought about Sadiq here with the Bucks. And then there's, you know, explanation, still like the wide receivers. And they just re-upped Cade Otton.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Above average.
The Bucks aren't going to take Sadiq because they just re-upped Cade Otton.
Yep, I understand that.
So it just made me laugh. It's mock madness is what it is.
Right. It's mock madness. And you know, I fell in now Kyron Williams is more accomplished than Cade Otton. Cade Otton, fine wide receiver, might be a poor man's, or tight end, that is, might be a poor man's Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's a rich man's Ben Urasek.
Sure.
I have no idea, what it's.
He's fine. He exists in the league.
But too many people or too many entities will focus on what they have.
Right.
And how that is not passable.
Correct.
Or how you, in a league where, too many people will just say, 12 and 13 personnel, and 98.5% of the listening audience has no idea what that means. So therefore, it takes a little extra time to explain, but it's one running back, the first part of the 12 or 13, then the second number is the amount of tight ends that you use in the game.
Yeah.
So when you hear people say, well, they play with 13 personnel a lot, that means they play with 3 tight ends. Not all tight ends play the same way. So the example that I've married myself to of late has been the Chicago Bears and what they do with Loveland, who's different than Kmet, who's different than Durham Smythe.
Yeah.
And
now Smythe did move on from the Bears.
Correct, which means Eli Stowers will probably be in Ben Johnson's covenant, or
25th overall pick.
Actually, the Baylor tight end Trigg, I don't know where he's going to get drafted. It won't be the first round. Well, he fits what they need with Smythe in replacing Smythe because he can play more and he can catch better. So it's there. I've been on this for about a year. I've been on this ever since I got back from Glendale, Arizona. And while the low-hanging fruit was Sam, the man who used to be on the Fan, got sacked 9 times after the atrocious game against the Kitties. And when I say low-hanging fruit, it's because it happened and needs to be discussed. But I left just mesmerized by what McVay and what the Rams did with their tight ends. I mean, you had a Higbee here. You had something called Davis Allen there.
Yeah.
You had another guy I'd never heard of, not Terrence Ferguson maybe. I mean, the way he manipulated them in that game, I was like, damn, man, I left going, it's age old. It's old school is always best school. If you can run and if you have the right tight ends, you're going to move the football more than you're not going to move the football.
Well, and it's crazy, too. Again, the evolution of this league where things get flashy and this is new, this is interesting, this is sexy on offense. But then the regression to standard, the regression to tradition, or the manipulation or minor adjustment to what is considered more traditional. And McVay,
there we go.
When we're thinking, wow, we got Robert Woods here, we got Allen Robinson over here, we have Cooper Kupp over here. Well, now we don't have that. So we refigure out, okay, I like what Puka's doing. Yeah. And we hope I honestly had not read that he was in rehab until you mentioned it.
In rehab.
And so he's got some issues that he needs to rectify. So, and you hope he does. But to that end, well, we don't have that anymore. So you know what? I'm just going to change the way my offense operates, like at its very core.
Right.
And I'm just going to win a bunch of games that way. It's just pure mastery, and the rest, it feels like sometimes the rest of us are just saying, hey, couldn't we do that? Why can't we do that? Can we get more of that? Can we tug at the cloth and figure out how we can make those sorts of adjustments? But right now, tight end's in vogue, man. Big time.
So long story longer is because the Rams gave Cade Otton money does not mean they won't draft Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is a tight end with 4.3 speed who can play. He's a tight end who plays like a wide receiver. What about Sadiq with the Los Angeles Rams at 13? And I might pay this off later, maybe wait till tomorrow, later in the week. I just wonder if the Rams are treating things this year like it's for sure Matt Stafford's final year. With the way they went all in on the corners with the McDuffie trade and then Jalen Watson. But they got pick 13 from the Atlanta Falcons because the Falcons opted to reach for a guy named James Pierce from Tennessee, who may end up being the second coming of John Burrow or Coron Riley. But nevertheless, it was a reach for them to get up there last year for this James Pierce cat. So in doing so, the Rams now have the Falcons pick this year at 13. And there's much more to this, but watch them trade 13 and get into the Ty Simpson spot, because secretly, what if they love him? And what if they sense this is Stafford's last year? I mean, McVay, with all of these high-enders they've drafted the last 4 years, still on rookie contracts, he ain't winning a Super Bowl without the right quarterback, and he knows it. So the Rams at 13 is so tantalizing. We'll get into that eventually, but McTockett's in the on-deck circle, and here